Okay, now, my challenge for this video is to make it through this video without barking too hard. I cannot say without barking at all because it's Nikke. It's an impossible task. It's a Herculean task that I know I'm not up for. So, I'll try my best not to wang. This video is 1 year old, so a lot of it may not be in trending because Nikke has a lot of success over the past year, and this thing was legitimately released on 1st Feb, making this video like 1.5 years old. Maybe some things might have changed since then, but we still can take a look at this for a moment, yeah? We'll just give this a 5-minute watch before we jump to the next one. Actually, I will stop the moment I bark. Yeah. If I bark, this reaction ends. Okay? Nice. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna get my head into the game. Okay. I got it. Alright. Come on. Hey guys, have some more faith in me. I can control my conto. Okay?
Success. Why is Nikke a massive success? With only one previous major project under their belt, Shift Up is a Korean game studio that rose
I cosplayed this before.
from the shadows to great heights. Previously a relatively unknown team, now competing with the likes of Hoyoverse games, and even at its peak, surpassing Honkai Star Rail's monthly revenue. The question is, what exactly went right? Let's take a look.
Boobs went right, see? Wait, this is Red Hood. Okay, Red Hood went right. Things like Red Hood, boobs, and tummy, and booty all went right. It went really right. Yep. This is not the Red Sister. This is Red Hood. So this is the Preem. The Great Stux.
Look beyond the eye candy, beyond the exhilarating one-handed gameplay, and find out why this game, for seemingly degenerates, is able to compete toe-to-toe with the highest-grossing gacha games on the market.
Yep. Wait, check out an address. Okay, hold up. Okay. You ask, and I will fulfill Red Hood. Oh, this one. Ooh, damn. One-handed gameplay indeed.
My name is Psyche, and today let's find out.
You get it for free? Oh my god, shit.
From the perspective of outsiders,
See, I cosplayed this as well, you know. I cosplayed 2 Nikke characters. I'm supposed to actually do Viper in her swimsuit outfit as well, but you know, I've been slacking them out.
you may think Nikke looks like your typical harem waifu collection sim, and while that's mostly the case, there's actually a pretty good game underneath. Let's start from the beginning. How was the game initially marketed? Well, after some time in early access, the game launched on November 4th, 2022. During its first month, according to Pocket Gamer, the game grossed a total of $70 million.
That's impressive. Holy shit.
For a new IP by a relatively unknown studio, this amount puts it on the same level as Genshin, which is not bad at all. So how did they market the game to get this much success at launch? Well, the way they did it was
Okay.
interesting. It's very clear at first glance that it's not even trying to hide its heavy focus on fan service, to the point where you wonder if they were self-aware. There were memes spawning about its concept.
I'm coming. I'm about to release a sigh. I'm sorry, I've calmed down.
You got popular online influencers checking it out.
So yeah, I mean, if they want to sponsor me to play that game, I'd rather get paid than do it for free, but even then I might still do it.
There was an ad for the Thai audience that was promptly taken down for being too, on the nose. They said the player base complained since they thought it was too rude to portray a fan of the game like this. But to be honest, many would agree
the fanbase should be the one apologizing for not giving this masterpiece the appreciation it deserves. Yes, it's peak marketing, yes.
that taking down the ad was a travesty.
As a Nikke player, I was happy that seeing this ad represents me. You're not looking at volumes ads if you're not playing the game correctly, yes.
And that the game was perfectly self-aware of who its audience is, and is not afraid to show it.
Please don't let me down.
Anyway.
When I see that thing, I literally can hear the gunfire, like, not because we're rubbing on something, you know, different.
Anyways, despite all that, it got the ball rolling. It got people talking about it. I took a look and tried it out as the sexual innuendos were so ridiculous that I just had to see the game that everyone was talking about.
Yeah.
It had a strong player base right off the bat. But just because it's successful at launch, it doesn't mean much if the game dies off soon after.
Exactly.
The next step is to use the money to make the game better and retain players. Now before I continue, I do want to clear up a misconception that you may have heard if you never played it. Is that the game is only selling because of its sexual themes.
Actually... Now that's the impressive part, is that they managed to hold up fan base only because, not because of the base mechanic and excellent storytelling and really gruesome intro. I've seen how gruesome and dark the intro was despite all this boy themes. It's the fact that this game has its own games built within. It is crazy how much mini games is based off another whole game entirely. I recall seeing one of their characters, they turned it into a mini Metroidvania within this game. Yeah, an actual Metroidvania featuring one of the samurai-themed characters. And another one is the Dave the Diver collab, whereby they put the whole damn game into Nikke itself. Dave the Diver gameplay, including serving in a restaurant, I think. My goodness.
This is false. Plenty of gacha games fail because gameplay or another aspect of it doesn't hold up. It's a gacha game. You still have to make the game portion of it. I'll save this topic for a future video, but just making attractive characters is not going to work. You'll still need a good game beside it. Many longtime players will say that it's the many other elements of the game that keeps them playing. It's either the lore, the story, the gameplay, and so on, which is what we'll talk about next. So what did they do to retain players? Well, one of the first was that
Saka was failed because the dev was fucking insane? Like, in what sense?
and even at launch, they already had a lot of quality of life features like deploy all for the daily expeditions, quick battling to save time, and fairly generous rewards. The story was also off to a good start.
Yeah, Mariana.
It wasn't too much blocking your progression until a bit later. And what's unique about games at launch is that no one is at the end game yet, so no one can really attest whether or not the game becomes too grindy or not. The generous gacha rates is another aspect that, alongside ShiftUp's previous gacha game Destiny Child, they are extremely generous with the pull rates and freebies. Nikke has an SSR drop chance of 4%, which statistically averages 1 every 25 pulls. There is a coin flip
One
of
every 25 pulls? What?
2% for the rate up, and every time you pull on the banner using
1 every 25 pulls? Isn't that really good?
currency, you get a mileage ticket. Get 200 of those, and you can just straight up exchange a copy of the rate up unit from the shop. These tickets are permanent, so you can hoard them as long as you please, for as many as you please. There is the cash shop, of course, and honestly, I think 90% of it is whale bait. You really don't need any of these packages that can be bought for real money. Just for simplicity, I paid the $5 monthly welcome, and a year into launch, I have all but 3 units in the entire roster.
Damn! Yeah, Ace has been telling me that as well, you know, that this game is so freaking generous. Yeah. Bullshit is that easy, that oh my gacha is crap. You know, if Asu could get every character, and you couldn't, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, this is 2 against 1. I think you just bad, man. You bad.
That speaks volumes about how generous the gacha is, meaning I can play with more teams, and more units equals more ways to play. Even as a low spender, I can actually experiment and see what works, and try off-meta teams for myself. But how is it possible to get that many units from just being a low spender? Was I just lucky? Well, that's also partly because the vast majority of Nikke's released characters enter the standard pool after their initial banner. Only in very special cases like summer and
Hey, look at that.
collab events will the rate up character be limited. About 90% of the entire roster you can just randomly be spooked by when you pull the gacha. So with the 4% drop chance, you're gonna be landing new units left and right. On the standard banner, you also get to wishlist 5 characters from each of the 3 factions within the lore. When you pull an SSR of that respective faction, you are guaranteed to get one of the 5 units you've wishlisted. Again, a great quality of life to help you narrow down on desired characters. And if that wasn't enough, there's also a friend point gacha. where you can get the currency from just sending and receiving hearts from friends, which has a halved SSR chance of 2%, but you can still get SSRs for free from time to time. As you can see, there are many safety nets put in place to ensure you're not
Yeah, this girl's kind of badass. I actually want her.
left without a new SSR to play with for a while. And the rates are generous enough that you still get a decent amount of the entire roster, even if you go into the game as a free-to-play. Now onto the daily grind. It's quite typical for a live service game to have daily tasks to keep you coming back. And as with other gacha games, you do have to do daily tasks to maximize your output in Nikke. Luckily, due to how easy it is, you can get them done in around 15 minutes, assuming there's
Wait, it's changed now. They're the fourth group of AK pilgrims in the gacha pool and they're paying to get. Are this the pilgrims are the ones that the fairyland theme ones? Are them?
no special event happening, and can even put the game on auto for certain levels. The quick battle feature is also present if your combat level is above the recommended power, where you instantly clear the level without having to go through it. This cuts down the grind time by a pretty big margin.
Very nice of them, So yes, the pilgrims are the fairy tale people, which also apparently they are as strong as gods or something like that, I've been told. No faction and considered top tier in universe. Ah, that's what I was told, yeah. They are like super strong Nikkes on their own top tier, rivaling gods or something like that. I'm not too sure about the lore aspect of it. Wait, they are the actual goddess of victory. What? Wait, they're the actual goddesses. Wait, they're literally the title people? Oh, okay, so what are Nikkes actually? Are they actually cyborgs or are they actually half human, half robot? Androids. Okay, that makes more sense now. Thank you.
And is even given as an option for clearing event stages for bonus currency. A feature
Androids with a human brain. Okay. Human brain in robots. Okay. They are woman body, brains out and body. Oh, that makes more sense. Thank you. So the pilgrims are like people like Cinderella and stuff like that, right? Wait, some of them come from human who can and has commander, has poi. A few of them, I know. I've heard.
certain other gacha games do not have. Certain live services lose players when the dailies are too grindy, but Nikke seems to respect your time while also demanding just the right amount to return every day. I think this should be the standard for future release live service games. The daily tasks should take up to 20 minutes maximum. Everyone's got
That is true. That's why I appreciate Woo so much, because I can get that shit done in 5 minutes. Funny enough, a lot of people have been telling me, my friends, like, hey, you should do this go, you know, and I'm like, why? I was like, it's nice and all, but the hair looks like a living nightmare, I don't want to do it. Yeah. You should not look up latest Nikke events.
going on in their lives, and demanding too much time to maintain the game will just drive new players away. Another way live service games retain players is through
FOMO?
elements of FOMO, or fear of missing out, like limited time events, limited time rewards, limited time skins, and battle passes. So how does Nikke handle FOMO elements?
Yeah.
Let's first go through the things that truly are limited. Every month and during certain events, there is a purchasable battle pass for $20. And reaching the end of the reward track will give you a unique character skin. As it currently stands, if you missed out on the original run of the battle pass, there is no alternative way to get them.
What?
This is probably the major thing that truly has the element of FOMO, though this would depend on how much you value cosmetic skins.
Oh my
Another case of
God.
this will be collab events. In 2023, there have been two, the Chainsaw Man collab and the Nier collab.
Oh yeah, those two. Right. Yeah. I remember what cough. Oh my God. My bro, I don't even have I mean, I could, but do I? I could, but I have other things to do for now.
It's quite unlikely that these events or characters will get a rerun, but this really isn't an issue with Nikke, but an issue with collab events in gacha games in general. Because of problems that arise with licensing, it's normal for gacha collab events to never get a rerun. So while this
Yeah.
would count as FOMO, it's an issue that's shared universally across all gacha games.
That's true.
Now that we're done about talking about the bad parts, what are some ways Nikke does to eliminate FOMO? Well, every event will last either 2 or 3 weeks, depending on its scale. And at some point after the event ends, certain ones are added to the event archive. This is where you can still view the story and play the minigame of certain events from the past, and it is permanent. meaning
Oh, that's
even
so
if you
nice
started
of it.
playing today, you can still experience some of the most impactful events the game has had so far. And because of this feature, even new players are able to catch up on the lore and be in the loop on why these events.
This was a more written story I've seen in a long time. The twist during the amount of emotion and panic sensible way all fit perfectly. I should mention I have not met anyone who go in the camping aside from Snow White. And I'm still intrigued to see how I react to everyone when I see them again. Oh, also, fuck you, Oswald. Wait, what? Fuck you, Oswald. Also, what? Oh, okay, wow. Yeah, I've been seeing from all my friends who have been playing Nikke is that, yeah, fuck you, Oswald. Wow, what? Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of people saying that Nikke's story is like goddamn amazing. Low-key making me want to try it too, but I'm dedicated to Wuwa at the moment. I do not dare to start on a new gacha game just like that when I still have to finish up Genshin. And yeah, you know, yeah. The first Christmas event also make people cry like a bitch. Really? Oh man, why, man? Like if one was to like start Nikke, I have to like keep doing Nikke all the way, you know. Like that's impossible to play anything else. I would just like follow Nikke for the guna. I mean, for the very appropriate, culturally appreciating outfits. Yeah.
Events were so good. The event archive is not something typically seen in gacha games, and it is being updated with every content patch. Genshin never rerun events, FGO does it once after a year or so, so having all the best events right at your fingertips permanently is an amazing way to treat even latecomers to the game. And I would argue, missing out on story content is way more impactful than missing out on skins. I also want to briefly talk about UI and accessibility. In story cutscenes, you can view the backlog of recent dialogue in case you missed something.
That's something that more games are implementing, like Wuwa too, right? Even Wuwa has previous events as well that you can easily backtrack as well. So
also keyboard shortcuts on PC,
life.
so you can just press 1 or 2 on the keyboard when selecting dialogue prompts, instead of forcing you to drag your mouse over the button. These may seem very fundamental features to have,
but it's important because for Nikke, it is, remember, one-handed gameplay. Quality of life.
They are. The skip and backlog button have been present from FGO all the way back in 2015, yet the highest grossing gacha game right now doesn't seem to know how to do this. The game will also give skill reset modules from time to time, where you will get refunded all the materials put into a unit's skill, in case you want to respec it into something else. You can also reset a unit's levels with a tiny bit of premium currency. The passive resource building up only completely fills up after 24 hours, and even lets it overflow for a bit after that, so you only have to log in once a day to maximize your output. The icing on top, you don't actually have to level every character you get. With the synchro device mechanic, you just have to level 5 units, and everyone else placed into the device will automatically sync their level to the 5 units. You can
that is so good!
can also view past story cutscenes, listen to the game's OST, which absolutely slaps by the way, and also set a music track on your main lobby screen. As with any successful gacha game on the market, getting to the late game will unlock challenge content and other modes to test your skills. The game may have just started out as an idle game, but the mechanics and team building can get complex, where late game levels will demand manual play and understanding of the level structure or bosses. However, unlike Genshin, there is actually significant endgame content in the form of competitive raids. You will either participate as a part of a union for the union raid, or individually via the solo raid that happens once per month respectively.
Oh, that way encouraging some form of competition. Because for Genshin, it is just the abyss, right? And then you just complete it. So it's either you do or you don't do it. But if there's some sort of leaderboard ranking thing, you can see your contributions. That is like pretty cool, actually.
It's mainly an optional challenge for those that are big.
I really appreciate Nick's one-handed and automatic nature. It lets me focus on other Dales for games like HSR and Wuwa.
You telling me you do will? Wow.
There's no
People will join the club to just flex how much money they have and no life they are. You know, that's great on them, you see? They can have the perfect waifus, okay? But they can only have it in-game. Whereas I can dress up as one. So, who's the winner here? Ha!
no significant rewards even if you place highly on the leaderboard. For the Union raid, you get more Union chips for spending in the shop for late game upgrades. But even with little investments or an inactive union, as long as you participate in it, you will still have a steady income of these union chips. Other than that, there's nothing else for union raids other than a rank
Union raiding. Okay, I don't know why y'all misheard
that you can
here.
show off on the top charts. For solo raids, you will get a bit of extra gacha currency and a unique avatar border depending on your placement relative to all players, with a tier 3 border if you score in the top 3%. It's actually surprisingly quite doable if you've been playing for long, as the casual players vastly outnumber the whales, though they are the ones funding this game. Just a subtle incentive to participate in raids, but nothing too significant. The gacha currency you get are pretty negligible, and you can
Damn, look at Nikke. I was clearing my throat.
still get something even for just participating in it. Another mode of competition is PvP, but unlike
That's
normal
PvP?
gameplay, you can't control anything, so it's mainly a mode for whales. From PvP, you can get arena tickets as a currency and a tiny bit of gems, which can be used to
Okay.
buy certain upgrade materials. But again, if you participate in it at all, you'll be swimming in these tickets. You do not get anything else for ranking high in PvP other than flexing. One of the major reasons I decided to stick around was because the developers are very communicative with the player base, and they're quite generous in that regard. More so than any
Oh yeah, Resident Evil collab. They get Jill Valentine massive honkadonkas.
previous gacha games I've played.
They get Jill Valentine like so much plot that she matches her animations that I've seen in the internet, if you know what I mean.
Here are some examples. During the announcement of the first anniversary of any gacha game, you would expect that the team behind it would be a bit more generous in terms of rewards to celebrate this occasion and to incentivize players to stick around or get others to return. Well, the Genshin community had to do a bit of trolling for them to shell out a total of 20 pulls. Can you take a
Yeah.
guess on how many pulls Nikke gave?
How many?
Was it 30? 40? 50? How about 106?
And SSR Snow White? Oh my god, what?
In addition to releasing a lore-heavy 3-week event, new main story mode chapters, they also gave out a max limit broken welfare SSR unit. Now,
What the fuck?
that's how you do an anniversary.
What? That generous? Excuse
I was
me?
originally thinking, well, if they're being so generous, isn't it a possibility where they run out of money? Well, no, because during that month, the game reported record profits. In fact, this was the month where they surpassed Star Rail.
What?
It's almost as if you treated the player base well, then they will treat you well right back.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Wow, what a fun concept, huh, MiHoYo?
This level of generosity is also accompanied by their willingness to respond to player feedback. And here are some of the examples during its first year. We heard you like this minigame in that last event, so we're gonna add it as a permanent mode.
Oh,
We heard you were a
nice.
massive Makima simp, so we made an alternative skin to remove her coat.
Oh,
We heard you
nice.
said this new character is weak, so here's a buff to make her one of the most broken units in the game.
Oh,
We know
what?
you may want a
Really? You thought Weihu was weak?
specific character, but RNG has not been favoring you. So here's an SSR selector that you can just straight up choose to get a specific 5-star in the standard banner.
What?
I myself is okay with putting money into the game every now and then, because unlike the developers of FGO, I know that the money is being put to a good cause. During the initial run of the first Christmas event, it was not voiced. However, 1 year later, when they added it to the event archive, they went ahead and voice acted it. They didn't have to do that, yet the team seems to surprise me at every turn. There is also a pseudo roguelike challenge mode in beta right now that allows you to enable certain difficulty modifiers for additional rewards. At times, they just randomly throw out 10 summon tickets at you for being nominated for some kind of reward. There is a lot of
shit.
communication that happens between the team and the player base.
Yeah.
And this amount of overwhelming support from the players is not just something you see very often. And because of all these factors, Shift Up has gained a lot of goodwill from the community. And the
Same goes for the war side too. Like, it's so rare. Okay, maybe because prior to Gacha gaming, it feels like player feedback wasn't heard at all. Especially, during the Genshin era. Being treated so nice and then being heard is something so foreign to so many people. That's why when the game companies that actually treat their player base nicely, like Shift Up over here, and for me personally, I feel War does a good job too. It just works.
the relationship they have with the player base is quite close-knit. When I invest in a piece of media like a TV show, hobby, or game, how the community treats each other can also impact my enjoyment of that piece of media.
Yeah!
Before Nikke, I tried making Genshin content. And while I did manage to get somewhere there, making Nikke content just felt more satisfying. On some of my Genshin guides, I pinned a comment asking if anyone knowledgeable about the meta to privately reach out to me to correct any mistakes I make. And after tens of thousands of views, nothing. Zilch. But when I reached 1K subscribers on the Nikke channel, I had 2 people in the community reach out, offering their congratulations and invitation to participate in their event.
Wow, really? That is
Genshin
so
has a much bigger
nice.
fan base, but your input feels like nothing but a drop of water in a pond. The community for Nikke is certainly not as big as Hoyoverse's, but it feels like your voice matters more, and word gets around faster about who you are as a
Another
creator.
case of Genshin could never.
And it makes me feel rewarded for making content on the game.
Yeah.
I started out on YouTube 3 years ago covering an indie game called Dead Cells. Again,
Dead
a very
Cells.
close-knit community with a supportive fanbase. And I was happy to continue to make content for it. The quality of my videos are the exact same for my Nikke and Genshin channels. But how is it that even with a smaller community, I was able to reach twice the amount of subscribers versus my Genshin channel? The comments I
shit.
get on my Nikke videos barely have any nitpick, and even when it's pointing out a mistake, it's usually done quite constructively. There is a reason
nice
why
of
I put
them.
800 hours into Deep Rock Galactic,
Holy fudge.
and the supportive fanbase is one of those reasons. Again, the community for a piece of media can impact your enjoyment of that piece of media.
Exactly.
For this
Very
last part
well
of the video,
said.
I also want to give some warnings to those already playing Nikke. The game is very generous, and it can actually also be dangerous,
What do you
because
mean?
players will always want more. I've seen some
yeah.
complaints about the
Yeah,
gacha rates
that's
being
true.
unfair, but that's really just the result of being unlucky.
Wait, so I've watched the Nikke controversy videos with first interviews in English VA. But I'm rather new to Gacha. Got more people recognizing our seen the videos because people learn about enjoying them. Yeah.
And I have been there myself. There are many other gacha games with abysmal rates, so the
See, fake grand order people, I do not know how you survive with this kind of treatment.
4% in Nikke is already extremely generous. I've seen some complaints about the grind for late game gear, but it's really not as bad as farming Genshin artifacts or materials from FGO. I've also
Or Honkai Star Rail artifacts.
seen some
my
complaints about the
God.
$60 gacha skins. But again, Girls Frontline has a minuscule skinned gacha drop chance of below 1%, and the pity
What?
can require in the hundreds of dollars to build up. No matter how bad you think some of the aspects in the game are,
Holy shit.
the reality is some others have it much worse than this.
Yeah.
So despite these discussions, I'm quite content with the pace they're going. Shift Up had their cards stacked against them. With already so many successful gacha games on the market, they had to find some way to stand out.
Yep, no worry. As of today, watching this, I think they're still doing pretty well. I mean, look at that. They're collabing with all the sugozing games out there now. Especially with Stellar Blade's collab. I need to go and finish Stellar Blade. Holy shit.
And stand out
Ah, shit! Sorry, I saw this and then I just... Okay. Yep, Hey, see, guys? I lasted 17 minutes, guys. Not bad. For y'all. Fuck you guys. The video ends here then. Lamau, thank you. Nikke, very cool. Right, nice. Oh my god. Ta-da! Hello, Yui here. Thank you for enjoying my stuffies. If this video has brightened up your day or put a smile on your face, do consider to do the logarithm stuffies. That means liking, subscribing, and commenting in this YouTube video. If you wish to show me more love, do check out my Patreon. Every single support in there goes to making more content in this channel and paying my editor, Zaki, who's definitely not living in my basement. In turn, you'll get early previews, behind the scenes stuffies, but most importantly, cosplay culture, which I know a lot of you are into. I also stream Mondays to Thursdays in Twitch, 11 PM EDT. So come over and check me out sometime.